And he will be the last one in, Sonny here. Sonny Liston into stall 6. And they are ready to race. They're off for the Bet365 Feilden Stakes. This listed contest over 9 furlongs. Dawn of Liberation on the left got away to a good start. So too did Austrian Theory in the lime green jacket, being tracked there by Sonny Liston. It's a pretty steady early pace though. They're pulling around a little bit there. You can see Cresta, Tom Marcon trying to get him to settle. But just on his outside there, Masakela too is also reluctant to relax. And at the back there, EYDON in touch, but they're crawling along, and it's Joe Fanning in front here with a narrow advantage on Austrian Theory and leads by a neck to Dawn of Liberation. They're going through the first couple of furlongs here. On the outside, then behind them is Masakela. On the inside, Sonny Liston next to the rail with Cresta still not settled in the white and black colours behind. Looking on is EYDON in the hands of David Egan as the runners make their way past the halfway point of this 9 furlong contest, and the gallop just beginning to pick up a little bit now, with Austrian Theory in the lead then. By only about half a length though. Dawn of Liberation on the outside, near side Sonny Liston getting closer all the time. Masakela's covering the moves there, the sheepskin noseband runner who closes up quite nicely, and wider out then to EYDON. Covered up behind them is Cresta, who'll be produced with a run perhaps as they come round now already to the final 2 furlongs. A real sprint here in the latter part of the race now. Down the far side there's EYDON, who strikes the front here for David Egan. Masakela's not got much of an answer. Austrian Theory is trying to battle back. Sonny Liston next to the rail, but it's EYDON who's powering clear up the hill here in the Feilden. This is going to be a bit of an upset. EYDON has got these well cooked here this afternoon and looks to have a really bright future. David Egan and EYDON go on to win well. Double for Roger Varian, Masakela second, Austrian Theory back in third.
Roger Varian has had a double here at Newmarket today, and if you were watching yesterday, he spoke very positively about both of these horses. EYDON, who's just won the Feilden, and Tajala, who won first time out earlier in the day. So thank you very much for advising us. You were saying that you like both of them. That's some performance from EYDON, a maiden, third start to win the Feilden impressively. What were you expecting when you came here today?
Genuinely, we thought he'd run very well. I think if you watch his 2 performances previously, his first run was a really good run. Lovely debut. He met traffic in running that day. He finished a strong third, arguably could have won. Second start, probably trainer error. He was just fighting with a horse a little bit through the winter with his development and his movement. We were very keen to get a second start into him, and I probably ran him when he was maybe not quite on song. So we gave him time after that race, and the last 6 weeks he's done fantastically well. And the last 2 weeks he's worked really well on grass, so we were very hopeful that he would be a better horse on turf and on the all-weather. And did a lovely bit of work five days ago, to suggest we weren't shooting at windmills coming here.
Okay, and his temperament must be very good, because that was a muddly old race, but it didn't bother him.
Great temperament. If you saw him in the prelims, he just ambled around. He's a really cool customer. He's got a great mind, and I was worried early on with the pace, a slow pace, towards the rear. I thought maybe we were not in the best position, but I love how he moved into it and did his best work up the hill, so I think there's a lot to look forward to.
Very much so, and David was saying he's a really big horse. Is he amongst the bigger horses in your yard?
He is for sure. I mean, he's, it's probably, adds to the time he took as a 2-year-old and the development that we had to sort of nurture through the winter. I mean, he came here, I think, nearly pushing 550 kilos, racing weight, and he's not a gross horse, but he's just a big horse. He's a tall horse, and hopefully there's, given how big he is, we're only just getting started with him, and better days ahead, hopefully.
And that frame, was that the reason why you couldn't get started with him on the track until December?
Yes, I mean, these 2-year-olds are so young and they're developing, and the early ones like Tajala, are very easy to train in the spring as 2-year-olds, and a horse like EYDON as a 2-year-old, we'd have really only played around with him until midsummer, and picked up his training, from July onwards, and he was always going to be a horse to take a bit of time, given his size. But must mention Prince Faisal, his owner breeder, yeah. And he owned, of course, Olden Times, who I think won this race a few years ago. And the Prince was very keen that I come and, not be shy and not go down the maiden novice route. But if we were happy with his condition and happy with his work, that we brought him to a race like the Feilden. So, well done to the Prince.
Very much so. Okay, so what's next then? Because he's got a variety of entries, Guineas, Dante, Derby. What are you inclined to do with him, Roger?
Well, I wouldn't nominate any of them at the moment. Lydia will enjoy today and see how he pulls out tomorrow. Of course, the Prince will have his own view as well, and I haven't spoken to him yet. So we'll make a plan together. But I thought the manner of his performance today, shows that we should at least have an ambitious plan.
Okay, I'm going to try and push you on in terms of distance at least, as to what you think he might be.
Well, David said he galloped right out past the line, almost up to the Pete Mosses. He said he was really impressed with the work he did, after the finish, which is always a good sign. And we've always felt he'd stay at least 10 furlongs. Beyond that, given how relaxed he is, I'm sure he'll stay further than 10. But whether he needs to go further than 10 for his next start, we'll have to see.
Okay. It sounds like you might. Would it be fair to say that you don't want to go back in trip with him?
I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
But we'll see. He's got all the entries, so we can see how he works. See, sometimes with racing they get sharper.
Yeah.
But he's got a great mind. He's very relaxed, so I think that opens up all the options really.
Okay. Tajala, he was very, very good indeed, and the analytics, if we break down the race, the fractions are really strong. You must be delighted with what he did.
Yeah, we really were. I mean, we've liked that horse for a little while. He's such a dude. Very easy to train. Very natural, loads of talent and strong and mature with it. Ahead of his peers in February, which is always a good sign, for a precocious 2-year-old. And delighted that we could get him out early. We'll see how he comes out of a race again, but we'd hope he could turn into an Ascot 2-year-old. You'd have to hope so after that performance, I think.
The Norfolk, would you be thinking he's more of a 5 type horse than a 6?
I think he's more of a five horse, yes. I don't think we'd be rushing him up to 6 furlongs, although he too galloped out, way beyond the line. So he might get 6, but I'd say there's no rush to step him up to 6. I'm sure he'll be sharper with this run under his belt. And I think his next run will really tell us Ascot target if we're lucky enough to have one.
Okay, and have you got anywhere in mind that you would like to take him for his next run?
I haven't.
You knew I was going to
Yeah,
ask
I knew you guys. No, I mean, we'll see how he is. He'll tell us, and the programme book's fairly straightforward for this time of year over that distance. So we'll see. We can think about it over the next few days.
Yes, but the key message is you'd like to get another run in prior to Ascot. And I thought it was notable, even though Andrea had eased him a little bit at the line, he still kept on galloping, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Galloping and on and on and on.
Yeah, he really galloped out, which at this track's a great sign.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
What a great day for you. You must be delighted.
We are, really pleased. Thanks, Lydia.
Well, many congratulations. Let you go and enjoy that at home with the team. Well done.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.